How's it going, man?
All good. Good,
Yeah,
Larry.
good to see you. It's been a while.
It's been quite a while, yeah, but you still look the same, fresh
Yeah,
as
that's good. My
always.
hair's a little bit longer. I kind of need a haircut, but
Mine too, Corona
yeah.
hair.
But yeah, you and I, we go way back. So when I was an under 23 rider, I was an under 23 rider for BMC while you were a pro on the team.
Mhm.
So my first training camp, I think we met. I was 19, turning 20 in California. Then the next year was like my first time coming to a camp in Europe, and we were roommates actually. So I
Mhm.
still wasn't on the team yet, but yeah, you were my roommate. Do you have any memories of rooming together there or no?
Actually, I remember that I remember how you were. You were this young American kid, always smiling, always.
From when you turned pro to today, it's very different being a neo-pro in your era versus the era today. So, when you were a neo-pro, you were on the bottom. So yeah, I was kind of wondering, how was it for you when you turned pro? And like, do you have any good stories from when you were a neo-pro on how things were, I guess?
Yeah, I turned pro in a German team, and the Germans, they're known to be quite hard, like German, or let's say German cycling school, especially the East German cycling school, that was influenced by the East and by Russian mentality, is really rough. First you start really low, and then you by proving yourself you can move up, but for them it was really important that you know your place, that you know that when you're a neo-pro, you listen, you shut up, you listen, you learn, and you better learn fast. And it was a pretty hard way to teach you. But on the other hand, I was actually happy about it because you always got the feedback. You always got the
Yeah,
feedback
that's true.
when you did something wrong. Immediately you had a feedback. It was pretty harsh. Sometimes you were like close to crying.
Yeah.
But I made mistakes. You make so many mistakes as a neo because you don't know better. But like this, at least you know what you did wrong, and you know that you better don't do this, pull this number again. Otherwise, you get a lot of shit. So you
Yeah.
I learned pretty fast and pretty quick from these guys, and I'm actually grateful about it.
Yeah. Can you tell us a story with the time you were late to massage one time?
I remember with the mechanics, for example, I was asked for a hard mountain stage. I remember asking for a 25, like back in the days, 23 was the standard. 23 was what you needed. You were able to have a 25. And I went to the mechanic to ask for a 25 because the next day was like 4,000 meters of climbing. It was a Tour de Romandie. And the mechanic was just looking at me, and it's just like, okay, if you don't want to do your job, then just go to the sports director and tell him you want to pull out. If you don't want to, if you need 25, you better go home. And I was like, and it was like offense to just ask him something as a neo-pro, and this has changed a lot today. Or for the story you told about massage, I remember coming 5 minutes late for massage, and the Swanee already folded up his table and just, if you don't have any respect for my job, then go, and maybe tomorrow think about it, and maybe tomorrow you get massage again. If you respect me, I'll respect you, which is a good lesson. Now
Yeah,
I
for
see.
sure.
I have a lot of respect for the job these people do in the background. And okay,
No,
it's
it's
a hard
good.
lesson, but maybe
Yeah,
there's
absolutely.
a good ones.
But yeah, so I guess the one thing I've noticed is just, I think one of the reasons we see a lot of young guys, really starting off so strong is because it is different than it used to be. And so I guess like do you see a lot of that change? And like, do you think it's easier for the neo-pros now, or what do you think?
I don't think so, actually. What you see now is that these kids, they're coming up like Evenepoel, like Bernal. This is amazing, actually. They get in the sport and directly they're there. Bernal wins the Tour and stuff like this. And this for sure is different to back in my time. Like when I was a new pro, I didn't know much about cycling. I was a really good amateur, but I had no knowledge about aerodynamics, about anything, nutrition or whatever. I think today those kids, they're much more educated. They have a much more professional support in the under 23 ranks. So for sure this is different, but I don't think it's easier for them, because now every year you get 3 neo-pros because you can sign them almost for free. And then maybe you get lucky and you have one guy that's
lights the world on fire.
Is going to smash everything. But then you have but then 2 years later, when their contract is out and they haven't performed as expected, I think they aren't mature yet, and they get thrown into a world tour racing where they can't cope with, and they end up after 2 years being sidelined. So I don't think it's easier for them nowadays. I think teams
we're just easier on them.
we are,
yeah.
But that's also
the expectation is higher, I guess. Then
that's also I went through this pretty hard school. Like every time I did whatever I did, if I did something wrong, something good, I got a feedback. So people would tell me that I did it right, but mostly it was when I did something wrong, they gave you this feedback pretty harsh. But I was happy about the critics. And nowadays, sometimes I feel like they don't get a feedback anymore. Whatever they do is okay, and they end up. Some guys they get it. They know. Okay, cycling is about one lead, or often it's about the team leader and the best support stuff. Like this best support riders, that he gets the good support, and you only have one leader often in the race, and maybe you find out that you're not going to be this super talent that's going to be the leader. Maybe you can't cope with the pressure or whatever. That's what you have to find out as a young rider. But then these guys, you need 90% of the guys need to be helpers in the team. Like, it's so important to make a good job, and you can make a really nice, satisfying career as a helper, maybe financially even better paid than when you go always for your own results. And but they don't get it. They can't learn it because they're not told how to do the job. And they get 2 years and they get kicked out. And that's what I saw often in my career, that you.
Good thing we have some good neo-pros on our team, so maybe I'll have to interview one of these kids next. But
actually, that's something you see in our team with aujourd'hui, with this under 23 program that they have. I think it's a third, and some of the best guys on this team. So for sure, they have a really good school. And that's not okay. It's more and more, and World Tour teams have their own feeder teams, but the standard, what I saw, is that people, like as you see, there are so many young kids pushing in that it's not easy to keep your place on a team when you're 25, 26, 27 and you haven't really performed. Then it can be over quick.
Yeah, it's true. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it.